day, everyone. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hi. I've got a special bang for all the people who've made it to the start. I don't know if you've ever done this before. Hi, Angela. Hola, hola. I'm going to start with a bang. These are bay leaves, and I'm going to burn them. So we're going to start this off with a bang. I don't know if you've ever burned bay leaves before, but they smell spectacular. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, this is a live fire. There goes the first one. Wow. Oh my gosh, the smell of burning bay leaves is so good. Could you hear that sizzling and cracking and popping sound as this thing's burning? There goes the second one. Oh my God. Oh, that was really good. Oh, it smells so good in here. You could see the smoke rising. Oh, wow. That was refreshing. Burnt bay leaves. Okay, thank you everyone for coming this evening. It's Minerals Monday, and our topic this week is quartz. Okay, and quartz is an amplifier. It's used in electronics a lot, tiny little crystals, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but every body, so each person, each heavenly body, each planet, each star has its own frequency. That's the number of times that it beats per cycle. And so our human construct of a cycle is like, well, a day is, hey, when the sun rises and sets, okay, but you know, a day on another planet isn't the same amount of time. We break it up from our human earthly perspective. So if we take it from the perspective of a quartz crystal, each crystal beats at its own frequency. And the reason why we use quartz in watches is because it's very, it beats really, really fast. And so what they do is they put inside of the digital watch a counter that every time the crystal beats, it flips a little switch. And however many times they program it for beat, then they say, okay, that's 1 second. And that's how the quartz crystal clocks can stay synchronized so well, is because they're counting the number of beats of the quartz crystal. Does that make sense? It's very reliable. Now, I also mentioned quartz is used in amplifiers, in music amplifiers, in tiny, tiny little circuits. It'll take a tiny little bit of energy and it'll amplify it, so it'll be that much higher of an energy. Okay, and you can turn the volume up and everything, you know, on your machines, is because it's just controlling the volume. It's an amplifier, but way back there inside the circuits are crystals. Okay, quartz actually. So there's basically two types of quartz. There's man-made and then there's naturally made. So this crystal ball, let me show you this. This is incredible. Okay, this was actually gifted to me. It was gifted to me. And as you can see, it has a clear side. And then on this side, you can see it. There it is. It's got reflective coating. Okay. And this is called facets, the way that the stone is cut. This is all lathed and faceted. Okay. So the crystals actually grown in a factory. They can grow crystals from a seed. All right. So this is a lead quartz, Swarovski. Swarovski is very famous for their jewelry. And they seeded it with lead, grew it, okay. And then they cut it, faceted it, and then they coated it on this one side. You see how it's coated there on the one side, and that way I put that towards my negative energy, and that helps filter the negative energy for me. Now, this crystal is natural. This one here, let me show this to you. There it goes. Da, 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 da. This one is natural. I found it. Okay. Sometimes I find them when I'm out on horseback because they'll shine. I'll be riding along and then boom, a spark of light will hit me, and then I have to back up and go out and get a shovel and dig out a crystal. This is a particularly spectacular specimen of a naturally made quartz crystal, all right, which I found in the Sierra Nevada, and then somebody gilded this little thing on top, and I could make it into jewelry. Now, each different type of crystal has different elementals. And what is the most common element on the planet Earth? I'm not sure you know. Which element is there more of than anything in the earth, not in the air, not like the oxygen? What would that be? Does anybody know? Angela, Ola, you have any idea what is the most common? What can you just go outside and get? Like, you don't have to buy it. You use a shovel. What? What? Dirt, right? Dirt. Well, what's dirt made of? Dirt's made of silicon. Okay. So silica is one of the most common for molecules, and that's made from silicon. And so quartz, okay, quartz is silica based. All right. That makes it very, very easy to find. Quartz is common in the mountains. You will see milky white quartz all over the mountains of the Sierra Nevada. And whenever the miners would find the white quartz, they knew there would be a gold vein close by. And so they would make sure to go and mine that area. All right, so moving on. And then after we go through our little mineral chat, we will start on the tarot. This one is super fancy. I had to bring this out. This is another piece of quartz jewelry. And this one is super special. This has been cut and lathed very, very specially. Okay, let's see if I can get it to focus. Focus, baby, focus. Come on, focus. Focus, focus, focus. This is a Brazilian quartz toroid. And how it's made is it's a chunk of what's known as champagne quartz. See the back sign? It's lathed, there it goes. It's lathed very, very specially in what's called a toroid. Okay. And the toroid has a center, and there's a diamond in there. Oh, that's a great, you can see the sparkle there. Look at that sparkle there. Look at it go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. And so this is a Brazilian quartz toroid. It's about 18 carats. Oof. All hand lathed by a master jeweler. Beautiful Brazilian, rare Brazilian quartz. Love that. All right. Now, and that's a natural one. Now let's look at an antique lead quartz. All right, this is man-made. This is man-made from the 1950s. Okay, so this is just after World War II in Austria. All right, after the Austrian independence there in the 1950s, they made this gorgeous lead. This is called ice. This is known as an ice crystal. Ice. This is a man-made ice Australian crystal. Woo, nice. And then don't forget to ask your political questions in the live chat, everyone. Thanks for the thumbs up. I see you guys have already gotten it. All right, we have 2 people here live, and I love questions. So think of your political questions now, or any kind of worldly type questions, just not a personal thing or anything like medical. I don't ask, did somebody catch the whatever, that I don't do. But any political questions, you want to know what's going on with the Supreme Court, you want to know when it's going to end, when are they going to reopen the country, any of those questions. I'd love to hear from you what topic we're going to be reading on tonight. Okay, this is huge. My God, when I lift it up like I don't need to go to the gym. Look at the beautiful, beautiful cracks in this thing. It's huge. I had a chance to put all my crystals out in the storm. They've all been soaking in the rain. This is a huge chunk. It's about 12 pounds of rose quartz. So just like milky quartz, this stuff is everywhere, especially in Brazil. South America, they have tons of quartz. Now, the healing property of this naturally made formation is love. And so this pink brings out, see, I'm like, I love you. I love doing my Mineral Monday nights. Brings out the love amplifier. So this rock, this stone is used to amplify love. And here is also a natural rose quartz that's been polished. See, it's just, this one's raw or uncut, and this one's been put through a polisher to make a cushion polish. So the reason I love quartz is it's such a clear and a pure crystal. The lattice structure of crystals, this is why I love these cubes. If you can imagine, they're all like cubes sitting on top of each other, and on each little point is an atom. And that's how all the lattice structures all lined up perfect to make their cubes. They're either face-centered or body-centered, and then they have the energy channels that go through. So the structure on the quartz is very pure, and so the energy doesn't just go through. The energy goes through, gets amplified with the frequency of the stone. Remember I talked about the frequency is how many times it beats per cycle. And we know that's real because we use the quartz to measure how many beats it comes to in a second. It's quite a few. I think it's like 2,000 and something beats or something. It's quite a lot of beats. So its frequency is high. So it beats a lot of times in a cycle because once again, a second is a human construct. That's just our sense of time. In reality, there is no time. There is only the frequency of the body. And so just like the stone has a frequency, each person has a frequency. The earth has a frequency. Jupiter has a frequency. The sun has a frequency. The solar system has a frequency. The Milky Way galaxy has a frequency. Okay, so just for the fun of it, we're going to read out of this Jewels book. Okay. Let's see, my book of gems. This is the C book. Okay. And I'm going to just read a little bit about the crown jewels of the crown of the House of Windsor. Ever since the crowning of King Wessex in the 9th century, jewelry has been a very important and intriguing role in the lives of royals. The kings and queens of England have amassed huge wealths in their crowns, their robes, and other pieces of ceremonial regalia. Unlike most collections, which are locked away, the Queen of England frequently displays her numerous pieces. The crown jewels of the royal collection are displayed in the jewel house at the Tower of London and famously guarded by the yeoman warders, better known as the beef eaters. The jewel house has been used to store the crown jewels since the 14th century, when it was felt that the previous storage house at Westminster Abbey was not secure enough. The crown jewels displayed in the Tower of London are more like a royal jewelry wardrobe than a museum. If you've never seen them, you really must go. All right, so let's see. So here is a little diagram of the crown jewels. Now remember, they believe that the monarchs are crowned by God and that these gems possess abilities to transform it and transmute energy to and from God. All right, so the St. Edward sapphire, which is at the very top at the point, is said to have been set in the ring worn by Edward the Confessor. At the rear of the crown is a 104-carat Stuart sapphire, which was moved to the back when the Cullen second diamond was added. The black Prince ruby is actually not a ruby, and that is true. It is a spinel. So the most valuable of all the jewels is the red spinel. The 317-carat Cullen II diamond is known as the Lesser Star of Africa. The crown has over 2,800 diamonds, 270 pearls, 17 sapphires, 11 emeralds, 4 rubies, and of course, the most famous, the spinel. All right, so that's interesting just to know what's on that crown in case nobody knew that giant red thing in the crown is actually a red spinel, and that is true. I do know that. Here's a nice picture of the lattice structure that I was talking about, along with the geode where the crystals are formed. Amethyst geodes are very common in the North American continent. So they just look like black rocks until they're cut open, and then you can see these magnificent crystal structures. And I believe in the Guinness Book of World Records, like the largest geode that's on display is well over 22 feet high at one point. Like a man could stand inside it. It looks like a cave. All right, let's get to it. I love tarot, and I'm super stoked. Super stoked. And like I said, it's very valuable. I do want you to know, everyone here and all the people who have been watching my daily videos and putting comments and feedback and seeing me on the live chats with the other readers, it's been super helpful to get your feedback on two things. One, to help me, get more directive. Okay, because I like to choose questions that go in a direction, and then also to find out what topics are really of interest to everyone. All right, so don't hesitate to ask your questions now, ladies. This is it. Yippee-doo. Okay, let me grab some water. I'll think of a question here. Supreme Court. I want to make sure that they're right set up, okay? Okay, so the Supreme Court has decided that they're going to start teleworking, okay? They're going to start showing up via teleconference. I sure hope they're not using Zoom. And they're going to be actually broadcasting hearings coming up. And I want to know, when is Donald Trump ever going to be held accountable for his money mishandling? Because, and so let's just ask if the SCOTUS is going to actually hold him accountable when they finally get to hearing him on his taxes. All right? Okay. Hi, Ola. I know you're new. All you need to do is ask a question. Okay? Yay! And Angela will be back in a moment. Okay, so I want to know, will SCOTUS hold Donald Trump accountable when they finally hear his taxes? Oh, you're tired of him? Oh, let's read on something else. I know what you mean. That's why I'm like, Minerals Monday, let's not do politics. Let's read on something else then. I'm totally up for that. Okay. Okay. So let's ask, how will the reopening of the country go? Okay, well, we'll ask, how will the reopening of the country go first, because we want to look, propitiously towards the future. Okay, so how will the reopening of the economy go? How will the reopening of the economy go? Okay. All right, so what's overseeing the reading is the choice. There is no right choice to be made here, but the choice to reopen has to be made. And it looks like it's going to be made in the first quarter moon. So that could be in a couple of weeks. That could be in another 10 days. That's coming up pretty soon. As I said, no choice is the right choice. So each state is going to be fighting over control. Fortunately, each governor here, see, has power to make individual choices for his own state. Now, you see how that kind of icky eagle Scorpio thing is sitting on the head of the governor? And what that's saying is, and you know who tried to say this again today, that he's in charge. Actually, he's not. Okay, that is not how it works. So don't worry about what Mr. You know who has to say about it. And this is the number 5 card. See, what this is saying is you don't have to worry about the federal government attempting to overrule the state government, because the state knows they have the power to make individual choices that are correct for each state. Okay, and that's why I'm saying each state is ruled by the wheel of fortune, and our governors have to make that decision based on what's happening at the time and what's happening in the region. It could go either way, opening up on the first quarter, or this is the first crescent moon. So the first crescent moon of the next moon, they're going to really, really consider opening it up. What that's saying is, don't be upset if Mr. Chief Executive Officer, the office of the president, attempts to overrule the governor. It will go by your state. Okay, it'll go by your state, Angela. So it'll be fine. Okay, so when will he be held accountable? Okay, that's what I'm going to be looking at all week, because every time we look at something the guy does, you know, we do know that that once he becomes a private citizen again, he'll be you know, liable. But sitting where he is right now, the question is, will SCOTUS hold him accountable? Okay, will he be held accountable during the hearings on his taxes coming up on the teleconferencing? Okay, will he be held accountable? Will SCOTUS hold him accountable? Help us, Ruth Ginsburg. The Knight of Swords is covered in blood. He just chopped someone's head. Whew, I hope that's a good sign. Oh yeah, the fool who's trying to walk away with everything and leave us holding the bag, that would be the office of the president or the litigant. In the recent past, we've had justice. Oh God, you know what? This actually looks like what's going to be happening. And here it is. Ruth Ginsburg, we love you. Uh-oh, I better be careful, because I know if I sing too much, I could set off some flags. This has got to be Ruth Ginsburg. Yes, look, this sword is covered in blood. The final outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, this is very interesting, because this has been coming up recently. This guy is a trickster. He's got a little sneaky sleeve trick up his sleeve. So you can see, okay, the Knight of Swords, justice is being served on him. Okay, they're doing the hearing. They're doing the hearing on the fool. Okay, yes, justice is coming for you, Mr. You know, and then boom, comes to serve him. And then look, it's almost like this little sneaky guy comes And so the question is, let's have a clear answer. Will SCOTUS be successful holding President Trump accountable for his taxes? 9 of Pentacles. Somebody's got all the resources. Somebody's got all the resources. They're sharing the resources. They're passing all of that money around. And look, they're bound again. So it looks like there's going to be some sort of binding where he's not held accountable. Will justice be served by SCOTUS on the tax hearings? Once again, look at all these swords. I mean, so many entities out to get him. Here's the offer. Here is the offer. So this is the court. This is the Supreme Court. Somebody's making, from outside the court, is making, probably judges cutting deals behind closed doors. Oh, reverse. Yep, dark money. Dark money is being used to give offers to withhold information fueled by Russia. Damn, you guys, every time we turn, this dude is just, but look, he's covered in blood. So yeah, I'm sorry, but oh, bummer, man. It's the same old story. You're right, Angela. It's depressing. All right. So let's think of something happier to read on. Okay, how can we amplify our love during this next 10 days? Because it looks like they're going to really be evaluating what they can do to reopen the economy in the next 10 days. Not that that's necessarily a good or bad thing, but I would be ready for some sort of change or proposal on the crescent moon coming up in gosh, I think it's coming up here in about 10 days. Yeah, like at the end of the third or beginning of the 4th week of April, it looks like there. Hi, Monica. Great to meet you. So unfortunately, SCOTUS isn't going to be able to, oh, this is for entertainment purposes only and just what I see in the cards. But it looks like, you know, justice is coming for Donald Trump on his tax evasions at the Supreme Court. That, hate to say it, but it looks like dark money from Russia is being offered to pay off the votes. I mean, that's literally how badly we have infiltration in our government. It is sickening. All right, Monica, please ask your political questions or your world questions. And so now we're going to get a little more positive to how can we increase our love? Okay, how can we amplify our love during this time? Okay, how can we increase our love? All right, St. Petersburg says he's got something for us. This is my brand new deck from Russia. This is made in Italy. And this is the Russian tarot. You know, this is my personal thing. I've lived through, I'm old enough to have lived through good and bad, feast and famine. And to be perfectly honest, I've always done better during famine. When it's during feast time, I overindulge, I get lethargic, I'm not as appreciative. Look at how much people appreciate the little things right now, like a fresh vegetable or, you know, a supermarket worker. One of the supermarket workers said that things have improved for them since this. They're treating supermarket workers better. So let's look at how we can, and then we're all not like basically dating right now, unless you're married. I suppose you could date, but you know, for the singles, I've been very much enjoying my family time, but I keep getting all this romance card, and I'm asking, how can we amplify love? How can we amplify our personal romantic, not this mammy-pammy, I'm in love with a flower stuff. I get so tired of that. We're talking about grown-up love between two people, man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, or however you identify, but that kind of romantic love between two grown-ups. So how can we amplify our love? All right. How can we amplify our love during this home cycle? All right. Get the bottom card there. All right. This is a card of endings, the world. Okay. So it looks like this is the end of the old world love paradigm. So this is saying that this is the beginning of a new world love paradigm. Aww, the Four of Cups. Once again, it's our choice. We have a choice to accept offers that are being given to us. Because we're ladies mostly here. We can. The Five of Swords. This is a card of leadership, only of unholy leadership. So that's very interesting, and that would be the card of mutiny at the center of the reading. The Ten of Cups is joy. In the recent moment here, we have a celebration and a joy of returning to our home and our loved ones. This is the celebration of coming home and staying at home. Oh, the sun illuminates all and transmutes all. So this is saying that the old paradigm of the patriarchy and the dominance of the lovers upon each other, and especially things like ghosting and evading, are now passé, and we're coming forward with the new light and the new paradigm and the new sunshine of the new love, which is agreements and contracts. So people are going to be taking, I think what this is saying is it's going to be very pro-marriage, because this is saying that people are going to go to court and actually legalize their relationship. So it looks like, to increase our love, we're going to be getting a lot more marriages. This is very strange little reading here, isn't it, ladies? That was not what I expected. Interesting. We need to give up the old paradigm of male dominance, is what this is saying, and allow the illumination of the sun to come in which is the reward of working together. So this is a card of not just romance, but getting down in the dirt and digging and growing your own food together, building your own house together, making a commitment to legalize your contracts together. Because in a way, when you think about it, a soul love is a soul contract. A soul love is a soul contract. So I think that what that's saying is the men, and this is going to be good for us ladies, are going to take us very seriously. And this is true because we are actually an extremely valuable resource for a guy. To have a woman in his life right now is super, super special. Excuse me while I get a sip. Oh, thank you, wonderful people, for coming tonight. All right. So I hope you guys like that bang at the beginning. I think only Ola was here for that. You guys will have to go back on the replay and check out the little mini explosion that I had. Okay, so I would like everyone to know that knowledge is power. And I'm not afraid of things. I don't fear things, okay? Because like there's only basically 3 enemies. There's actually the enemy without, that would be those outside of us who attack or against us. To be perfectly honest, they're the easiest to deal with, like the government, just a person outside of ourselves, you know, our boyfriend or husband, whatever. That is influence from outside. And there's only really 3 types of influences. There's just the human influence, and then there's Mother Nature, you know. So if you're not fighting Mother Nature, then you're just fighting somebody else. And I'm not afraid to fight because I know that, you know, the pen is mightier than the sword. Now, the real demons are the demons within, and the most difficult to slay are the demons of one's own. Okay, so for example, right now we're dealing with maladies of the body and also the mind and the heart, because we are isolated, we are alone, and that can lead to false thought patterns, or negative self-talk or boredom, whatever you want to call it, because we're not trained or practiced in our mind to fight or attack our own negative psyche. And so those are the enemies and the demons within. And so I would like to conclude I would like to conclude by having, you know, guidance from Spirit about how to best look within to conquer our own internal weaknesses. Okay, so we have to really take care of our bodies and not just our minds. We gotta drink tea and rest, but then we need to be thoughtful and positive. Okay, so how can we make an opportunity of what looks like there's going to be a big change coming up in the next 10 to 14 days. So whatever that change is, I would like to take advantage of what we've got going right here, right now. So here's how we can take advantage of some opportunities before us right now. This is truth. So this is the truth. It's our time of truth. Actually, you know, thank you, Spirit. This is a reminder that, you know what? We're a lot smarter than we give ourselves credit for, and we're not falling for a pack of, you know what? we can see what's the truth. We're getting to the truth. We're getting to the bottom of things. Oh, about Mr. Trump. Oh my God, we can't get away from him. I know, as much as we'd like to, because even though we're resting, okay, this is our card of resting. We can rest right now, but really, this is once again justice and truth. That even though we're resting, once again, there's the truth laying dormant, and we have so much truth being revealed. It's just hanging over. I had no intention of bringing up this card, but that signifies the man at the White House right now. He's a smug. We can't get away from this guy. What this saying is, we can't live in the illusion that we're not being influenced by all the peddling going on, all this peddling, which is this back channel. There's no way that we personally can get away from this. And so we want to remember that the truth is being revealed. It's being cut right before our eyes. That's our opportunity. We don't have to work so hard to find it, because in the end, these are the keys to the gates of heaven. Okay, if you look it up in the Nostradamus deck, which is the original deck of tarot, one of the most ancient in the modern decks, these are talking about the keys of judgment and the keys of karma that are going to be served when each of us is laid to rest. And we don't have to fret about what's going on, because there's a karmic influence here. Okay, you see that set of cards is laid out for him. It's like the truth can never be withheld in the end. It's only laying dormant while we're resting, and he's playing monkey business. In the end, the higher judgment will always come. And then, of course, there's once again the quarter moon of Ishtar. Oh, I have a great question. Okay, so this is the deal. Okay, in America, they can't serve more than 8 years. So he's going to have his term up either this year, or heaven forbid, Lord, help us all, please, not another 4 years later, sooner or later. Okay, he's no longer going to be able to take advantage of his position. So that's what this is saying, is there's no way we can get around it, having to pay the price for having him here. And there's no way he can get around paying his price in the end. And the best opportunity that we can take is to just believe in the truth and not worry so much about it. Okay, now I do have one really, really good question before we go. I know I thought of this before. How's the buffering tonight? Is it going better? Like it's not buffering? And then on Thursday afternoons, we do the message readings where I pull those gorgeous oracle message cards. Okay, so if Spirit cares to share with us, what is the sign that was going to show us, so that we can have some hope that the end of Mr. Trump's presidency is very, very close? Okay, what sign can we look for from the universe to tell us that his end is nigh? Okay, what does Spirit want to show us? that we can see as a sign, a universal sign that his demise is extremely near. Okay, so universe says it wants to pull all 9 cards. Okay, universe is saying here is what we can look for to give us reassurance that his term is near its termination, however it ends. Oh, I hope I didn't do this whole thing upside down again. I have a way of doing that. All right, once again, it's the offer. We just saw that, the offer at the Supreme Court. This, I think, is saying bribery. This looks like bribery. Ooh, I wonder if he's going to finally get caught for treason. Oh, boy. Bound and tied. The sign that we can look for will not be visible. We won't see it. When the time comes for Mr. Trump's termination in his office, his current position, we will not actually see the sign, okay? It won't be visible. It won't be something that we see. It will be sent. Oh, I know who this guy is. The King of Swords. This is from another country. It will be sent as a sign from another country. Okay, only it's in reverse, which means that he won't be fighting against the next king. We'll find out who this guy is. This is the 6 Wands mob. These are the high-end players who've been covering up the big bad boys club, the Devin Nunes, the Mitch McConnell, the blah, blah, blah gang. Okay, it's a gang of mercenaries who are getting paid off. Remember? Bribery. Will you vote my way if I give you this, give you that? Okay. This is the sign. Okay, we're not going to see it. It's not going to be visible. It's the 9 of Swords. There's going to be a binding. Someone in justice is going to put an end to something. There's going to be just like some sort of a ruling. Like I said, the sign won't be a visible sign. It's not going to be like, oh, look, there's a lightning bolt. Now he's leaving. It will be, he will have a judgment bound against him. Ooh. This is the reverse devil, but it's always the devil. Okay, this is actually, okay, how this fits in is this is right underneath the King of Swords reversed. Okay, so this guy who might need his identity not revealed. See it? He's going to come in and he's going to right. Okay, just like that. But it's going to be, and you see that these guys, the binding of the 6 Wands mob, the judgments against Trump, all the gangsters are all in league with the devil, okay, or the negative influencers, the evil side, okay? We won't see the bribes, but this guy has the power, see? And this is what's taking him out. This is the reading that is taking the guy out. Okay, this is it. The Chariot, when the time comes, it's going to be real black and white. And there it is. Once again, that's the moon. See? Look at all these signs. This is all the new moon, okay? He's going to get taken out on a new moon. There it is. Okay, we talked about this in the last reading. This is karmic judgment. You can't get past this one because it's not the judgment of man. That's right. And it will hit him fast and hard. So the sign, okay, now when we read this down, the sign that we're looking for that's going to be the end of his term is, this is bribes. Bribes, either made to, by, or from his gang. This is his gang of mobsters, his players, Attorney General Barr, the list goes on. And then swiftly, there will be a very fast action, which we will not see, won't be obvious to us, which is going to bind him, put him in a bind. He's going to be restricted. It'll be karmic judgment. No human can stop it. This is a ruler of another country who needs to be kept safe and not revealed, is going to come in, boom, take him out along with the entire gang, and it's going to come swiftly. Okay, so the sign is, don't look. Don't look. That's what the cards are saying. Don't look for the sign, because when it comes in, it will happen so fast. He's not even going to know what hit him. Okay, we've got time for the next question. Will they take out Pence? Will they remove Pence? Assuming Pence is even in office when, okay, will they remove Pence? I'm assuming they're going to take this guy out before the end of this term, because you know what? Well, let's just ask. Will it happen during his current term? Will his demise happen during this current term? Well, the demise, you know, the universe doesn't like answering questions like that, because that's like, that's a lot of information. Will Donald Trump's demise happen during his current term? Will Donald Trump's demise happen during his current presidency? We all know the guy's going down. He's not going to leave under normal conditions. Will his demise be during his current term? Will his demise be during his current term? And then we'll look at Pence, and then we'll close it in for tonight. We're not buffering, right? Is his demise during the current term. I'm shaking on this one, you guys. They're like, easy answer. Well, this is him making an escape. So this is his exit plan. He is planning to leave, okay? He's planning to get out of there so he doesn't get prosecuted. Okay. Will it be during this term? That is a choice that is going to be extremely difficult for him to make. He's given it some serious thought, and as you can see, it looks like he's talking to Israel about it. But this is him leaving. I'm asking, will it be during this current term? Reverse judgment says that it's going to be a hard judgment, a hard choice. He's weighing it. He's seriously weighing it. So please understand that if the universe answered this question outright, it wouldn't actually be a good idea, because anyone who watches on the live stream or Korean bots or whatever can take this as intelligence information back to China, okay? So we don't want a yes or a no on this, but this is very, very serious. He already has his exit plan. Absolutely. It's an extremely difficult choice for him to make, but there it is. There's that darn new moon. He's giving it serious thought. He is seriously considering ending it himself, is basically what he's saying. But we know he's not a quitter. This is a hard judgment. This is a harsh judgment against him. They must know something. They must have something serious on this guy. And so once again, they're going to give him an offer or two. And they're going to be like, Donald, A or B, A or B, A or B. Choose, Donald. Choose, Donald, A or B. And it looks like his choice is, as long as I can leave the country so I can't be extradited by NYSD. It really looks like he is not going to be on the 2020 ticket, because I did a bunch of readings when I started the channel up a couple months ago. And that's one of my most popular videos is, will Trump be on the 2020 ticket? And it said that there's people who are really inside of the Republican Party who are really working actually to convince Donald to just get out, because they're afraid they're gonna lose. And I think they've got some sort of an alternate plan. So let's just ask, is the DNC planning to have somebody other than Biden on the 2020 ticket? Because now there's all this talk of replacing Biden as the nominee, because he's not actually been nominated as the candidate yet. Okay. And Wisconsin votes are still coming in, and that was a disaster. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about voting right now. That'll get me all jacked up. Okay. So once again, is the DNC actually have a plan in place right now to put someone other than Biden on the ticket? Because every time I read on Joe Biden, it's like, oh, he wins, but it's temporary. Oh, he makes a little stride, but then he, one step forward, two steps back. I don't think people are real confident. Biden, debating. Oh God, yeah, he's got a speech defect. I mean, I like the guy a little bit, but I'm not to vote for him. I don't see have a plan to put someone other than Biden on the ticket. This part is jumping. popping, and then we're gonna have to get going here because I got to make sure my kid's all right. Okay, on our way out. Oof. The 4 of, that's not a 4. Oh, this is an agreement. Yes, it's a plan, an agreement. Yep. Oh, this is a plan or agreement with, believe it or not, someone inside the White House that they're working with, who is like in charge of voting. So this is, yeah, they got a plan. They're talking with the White House. Okay, it has to do with the whole world. So they are very interested in having someone other, or considering other. Wheel of Fortune's good or bad, no matter which way it goes. So, but this is a, yeah, they are definitely considering trashing Biden and replacing him with somebody else. Okay, you guys, maybe Bernie will be back because I think his campaign was suspended. All right, I think they've got an alternate plan. I think there's some other plan in the works, like we're not even gonna, like, so much is happening so fast it could be the wildest presidential election. You're welcome, Angela. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Namaste. Have a great night, you guys, and amplify the love. Thanks for coming, Monica. It's nice to meet you. Bye, everybody.